If there's one thing that I love to do on my free time, it's sitting down, chilling, and playing around with some of my favorites of the wildest NES games. One of which is called Kart Fighter. It's also an odd one. It's a game for a Nintendo console, unlicensed by Nintendo, yet it features widely known characters from widely known Nintendo franchises. Its ROM has been floating around on the web for a long time. Most people I've seen have been playing it and capturing it from an emulator on their computers. But now, thanks to amazing things people have discovered they can do with this old hardware, I can now own it on cartridge and play it on my fucking Nintendo that I've known and loved since I was a kid. It may not appear so at first, but you can play 2 players on Kart Fighter. What you do is, once you get to the character select screen, before being prompted to select a character with player 1's controller, take player 2's controller and press left or right on the D-pad, and there you go. This ought to be fun to try out with some buddies. I gotta say, I'm fairly impressed with the soundtrack. Though a bit repetitive, it seems to take quite some advantage of the NES's sound capabilities. And on the character select screen, yeah, its music is just a 6-second loop, and it's probably the most repetitive piece of music in the world. But tell me those drums in the background aren't the most realistic sounding drums you've heard from an NES cart. Well, more like, I guess, most alive sounding. One slight visual bug I've noticed is that characters do seem to constantly flicker on the screen. It doesn't really bother me though, because I know that things like this are to be expected from this kind of 20 or 30-year-old technology. It doesn't affect the fun that can be had with this game, if you ask me. Actually, some of this could bring some laughs. I mean, look at some of this. People say that Kart Fighter is the closest thing we'll ever get to Super Smash Bros. On the NES. But I beg to differ.